discuss the properties of determinant. What are the properties it has? So we move to the first property. The value of the determinant remains unchanged if its rows or columns are interchanged. That means if any two rows are interchanging, R1 is interchanging with R2, or C2 is interchanging with C3, or R1 is interchanging with R3. If you do any interchange of the rows, the determinant of the matrix will not change if by interchanging. Let's take an example. So here I am taking the delta equals to determinant of this matrix, 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so we already learned how to find the determinant of the given matrix. So here they have done the determinant and they got the answer as minus 28. So how do they find the determinant? They have done it by the first row. So I have taken the first element as 2. I know the signs will be positive, negative, and then positive. So 2 into the corresponding row and the corresponding column. If I exclude, the remaining elements are 0, 4, 5, minus 7. So 0, 4, 5, minus 7. So this minus sign will come automatically with the formula, and this minus 3 is as given in the question. Now corresponding row and corresponding column, if I exclude first row and second column, the remaining elements are 6, 4, 1, minus 7. So that they have taken here, plus 5 into, so the corresponding row and column, if I exclude, 6015. So 6015. Then we already know how to find. So finally we got the determinant as minus 28. Now what they have done is they interchange the rows and columns. This property 1 will explain the interchanging. So this property will explain about the interchanging the rows and columns, that is transpose of the matrix. If you remember, rows becomes columns and columns become rows. Transpose of matrix, I have taken the delta 1 matrix as the transpose of the delta matrix. Okay. Here you see the row is 2 minus 3 5, and here the column is 2 minus 3 5. Second row is 6 0 4, and here the second column is 6 0 4. So rows and columns are interchanged. So still after finding the determinant of delta 1, then also you got the answer as minus 28. So by interchanging the rows and columns as per the property 1, by interchanging the rows and columns of the given matrix, the determinant won't affect. That is the property 1. Now if we go to the property 2, if any two rows are interchanged or columns are interchanged, then the sign of the determinant changes. Yeah, here it explains if two rows are swapping or two columns are swapping. Any two rows, I'm not talking about one is row and another is column. That is not possible. We already discussed with the elementary operations topic. So two rows, R1 is swapping with R2 or C1 is swapping with C2. If it happens, okay, then the determinant will change its sign. That means original matrix has the determinant as positive. Then after interchanging the rows, two rows or two columns, then you get the determinant as negative. Or original determinant is negative, then otherwise after interchanging you will get the determinant as a positive. So I have taken the same example as in the previous question. I have taken the determinant of a matrix, that value as lambda we did. So lambda we got it as minus 28 as per the example 6. Example 6 just now we discussed here. Determinant is minus 28. Now delta 1 I have taken as by interchanging the second row and third column. Here the second row is 604 and here the third row is 604, and here the third row is 1 5 minus 7, and here the second row is 1 5 minus 7. So R2 is swapping with R3. Here you can see the operation. R2 swapping with R3. Okay. So now if you find the determinant of lambda 1 matrix, it will give me a positive 28. Okay. So originally lambda determinant is minus 28. Now lambda 1 determinant is plus 28. So sign is changing from the original matrix after applying the swapping of the two rows or swapping of the 2 columns. Now if the same matrix we do twice, that is R1 is swapping with R2, then R2 is swapping with R3. So first row R1 is swapping with R2, you get one negative sign, and R2 is swapping with R3, you'll get another negative sign. So minus of minus will be a positive. Understood? So as many times as you interchange the rows or columns, that many times the sign has to change. So by changing one, the minus 28 is becoming plus 28. Now in the same matrix, if I do second change, maybe row or column, so my determinant will come in again negative number instead of positive. Okay. So here I have taken delta equals to minus delta, and one is the negative of other. Now if I come to the property 3, if any two rows or columns of a determinant are identical. So what do you mean by identical? All the corresponding elements are same. It must have the same element, then the determinant will become 0. Either two rows or two columns have the same number, then the determinant will be 0. Like you see in this example, first row is 3, 2, 3, and third row is also 3, 2, 3. So first row R1, second row, third row R3. R1 and R3 are same, each and every element are same. So if you find its determinant, the answer will always come as 0. Okay, so this is one of the more important property we use many times as compared with the others. If two rows or columns are equal, then the determinant has to be 0. Next, property 4. If each element of a row or a column of a determinant is multiplied by a constant k, then its value is also multiplied with constant k. Let's see an example. I'll take the matrix lambda, determinant lambda. I'm using the same example to explain all the properties. So we already knew that its determinant is 28. 2 minus 3 is 5. Okay, I have taken this matrix. Okay, if you find the determinant of this matrix, it will come as 28. Now property says, if any row or column, for example, if I consider the first row of this matrix and see the first row of this matrix and first row of this matrix, if you observe them, the first row of this matrix 2 minus 3 minus 5, and it becomes here the first row becomes 4 minus 6 10. Just the first row of delta is multiplied with 2. Okay, 2 2 is 4, 2 into minus 3 is minus 6, 2 into 5 is minus 10. So in delta 1 matrix, I am multiplying the first row with 2. So hence I am multiplying only one row, not all the rows. Only one row is multiplying with a constant. Then what happens is the determinant of delta and determinant of delta 1 will become twice. So here it is 28 and this will become 56. Okay. Now if I come here in the delta 2 matrix, you see the delta matrix and delta 2 matrix, what is the difference you find? The first row of delta is 2 minus 3 5, and the first row of delta 2 is 4 minus 6 10. So first row is multiplied with 2, and here the third row in delta matrix, third row is 6 0 4, and the third row of delta 2 is 18 0 12. That means we multiplied with 3. That's why here the determinant is 28, and here the determinant will become 2 into 3 into 28. Why 2 into 3? Because first row is multiplied with 2 and third row is multiplied with 3. So that's why 2 into 3 into 28. It will become 168. If you want to find the determinant of delta 2, then you will get the answer at 168. Now there is a one important note. You have to understand it very carefully. This one I mentioned here. Multiplication of constant with determinant is different from the multiplication of a constant with matrix or matrices. If you remember matrices chapter when I introduced, A matrix is given. When I said 2A you have to find, then multiply each and every element of a matrix with 2. If you want minus 3A, then each and every element of the matrix will multiply with minus 3. But when it comes to the determinant, if I multiply with one row, the second and third row will be unchanged. For example, here see, first row I multiplied with 2, 2 to the 4, 2 into minus 3 is minus 6, 2 into 5 is 10, but my second and third rows are remain unchanged. Okay, but when I multiply a constant with a matrix, each and every row and each and every element has to be multiplied with that constant. But it comes to the determinant, it won't happen like this. Whichever the column or whichever the row you multiply, that particular column only will change accordingly. Other two columns or two rows won't change anything. Okay. Similarly, in the matrix, if I want to take a common, so you have to take common from each and every element of a matrix. But in the determinant, if it is common, constant is multiplied with one row, then I can take it out of the determinant. Okay. For example, here you have 2 minus 3, 5, 1, 5 minus 2 and 6, 0, 4. Okay, here I think I cannot take anything common, but if I go here, 2 I can take common from the first row, so 2 will come outside. In the second row, 3 I can take in common, I can take the common, so you can bring 3 also. I think you can take 6 also common. Okay, so like that. So multiplications of a determinant is different from the multiplication of a matrix. So these are the first four properties are the four most important properties, and fifth and sixth properties we use them, but not very quite often. Now what is the property 5? If some or all the elements of a row or column of a determinant are expressed as the sum of two or more terms, then the determinant can be expressed as a sum of two or more determinants. Reading the property, you might not understand what exactly it is. Let's take the example. This is my determinant. I have taken a1 plus lambda 1, a2 plus lambda 2, a3 plus lambda 3, b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, c3. So if you find the determinant of this LHS matrix or determinant, whatever the answer you get, that answer will be same as determinant of this first matrix on the right hand side plus determinant of the second matrix. You observe the difference of the LHS and RHS. In LHS, I have a1 plus lambda 1, a2 plus lambda 2, a3 plus lambda 3. But when it comes to RHS, so I have taken as a1, a2, a3 in the first row, lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3 in the second row. So here the sum of each and every term is splitting into two determinants. And the second row and third column in the LHS will remain same in the second row and third column of the respective two matrices, rows of the right hand side. Okay, so if you have the sum of two terms, you can split it. Even not only in the one row, if you have two rows, instead of here a1 plus lambda 1, a2 plus lambda 2, a3 plus lambda 3, and the second row if you have b1 plus maybe some gamma 1 plus b2 plus gamma 2, b3 plus gamma 3, then also I can split it. Okay, so if you have one row, two rows or three rows, the number of here matrices will keep on increases. Okay, now property 6. If you want, I'll explain with the example. Here I taken the matrix lambda as a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, c3, and lambda 1 I got another matrix by applying one of the operation. What is that operation? R1 tends to R1 plus k times of R3. That means in this matrix, whatever the lambda you have, I have got the lambda 1 new matrix by applying this R1 will be added to k times of this one, A1 plus k times of C1. So A1 plus k times of C1, and here A2 plus k times of C2. So A2 plus k times of C2, and here A3 plus k times of C3. So A3 plus k times of C3. Rest of the rows will remain same. Now, how the relation between these determinants, determinant of lambda and determinant of lambda 1 will remain same or different? That's the question. Okay. So the determinants of these two matrices will remain same. Okay. In this example, I am talking about why it is remaining same. I will show you here. So this is the matrix we are taking. Okay. As per the property phi. Okay. Property phi, this A1 plus KC1, A2 plus KC2. I can write it as A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3 plus K times of C1, K times of C2, K times of C3 and how. Now if I take K common outside the determinant, okay, you'll get C1, C2, C3, here also C1, C2, C3. So both the rows are equal by one of the property, I think second property. If two rows are equal, then the determinant has to be third property, I think. Two rows are equal, then the determinant has to be 0. So the determinant of this second matrix is 0. And if I take this one, this is same as lambda only. That's why both the determinants remain same. Okay. So these are the 6 properties of the determinants which you need to understand. What is the first property? First property is if you are interchanging rows and columns, the determinants remain same. That is, determinant of A is same as determinant of A transpose. Both the determinants remain same. Second property is by swapping any two rows or columns, the sign of the determinant will change. If it is positive, it becomes negative. If it is negative, it becomes positive. Third property is if any two rows or two columns are equal, then the determinant has to be 0. And fourth property is if any row or column is multiplied with a constant, then the value of the determinant also will multiply with the same constant. And similarly, fifth property and sixth property. If you have the fifth property says if you have a sum of two numbers in any row or column, that determinant can be split into two parts. And third part is sixth property just now we discussed. Okay. So